good feeling when you're able to find people who like to play the kinds of things you like to play. That's one thing that helps to make friends, playing together. It's such a good feeling to know you're alive. It's such a happy feeling. You're growing inside, and when you wake up ready to say, I think I'll make a snappy day. It's such a good feeling, a very good feeling. The feeling you know that I'll be back when the day is new, and I'll have more ideas for you. And you'll
I said at the beginning of this event that
want to talk about.
BTS means so much to me. It's brought so much into my life and like made my community and the people I care about so happy and brought them further in this world.
You know how?
Hold on, can I say something?
You're
Chat,
being
you
you.
motherfuckers!
Only one person in the whole world like you.
All right, welcome to Fourside Funerals featuring The Cheat. Oh, Rachael. Zane. The Cheat. And Hotbid. I didn't know what order it was going to go to. Hey, everybody. Mourners at Fourside Funerals. I'm Jackzilla, and I know, number one, Salt is the player to buy Melee stock in after wins at Coinbox and the Black Excellence Melee Invitational. Number two, Jerome Powell needs to lower interest rates so that brands, which I now love and endorse, can spend more on Melee. Number three, the resumes of the players and members of the BTS diaspora are absurdly stacked, and anyone in need of their skills is wasting precious time not hiring them. And number four, the way Catholic wakes have the bodies just laying out is weird. Let's go to each side. Catholic wakes, broke or woke? Rachael.
I up in the morning, and I think that I respect all religions.
It's very well navigated. Zane.
Woke because they can be mined for comedy, and death is funny inherently.
Okay, The Cheat.
Yeah, I've been to my fair share of them, and I share this experience. Please just put my grandpa away.
Yeah. Hotbid, what do you think?
I've never been to one, but eagerly awaiting someone to die so I can attend one.
Yeah, eventually it'll happen, I promise. Welcome to Fourside Funerals. We've got 4 outstanding guests today who are going to act as pundits as I throw topic after topic at them. They'll give their first takes. If they're entertaining, interesting, or make me choke up with emotion, I'll give them points. If they're boring, repetitive, or patently unreasonable, I'll subtract. And of course, I can mute any contestant at any time for any reason. The player with the most points at the end is our winner. They get to commentate the 3 losers as they take it to Fourside in a free-for-all so we can see exactly how their punditry translates to Melee. Let's get started with our first topic. The thing that struck me most about working with BTS over the years was the astounding amount of creativity and care that everyone I worked with brought to Smash events. No corporation is perfect, but in my experience, most esports companies are either obvious shit shows or incredibly boring. BTS took chances on people, and I saw more than one real creative transformation as people went through it. So my question, how did y'all do it? Let's start with Zane.
The newest member of the company on here.
Yeah.
That's a great idea. How did we do it? Because Ken Chen, I'm just going to say it's all thanks to the fact that Ken Chen doesn't take no for an answer when he has an idea. He instilled that in so many people going forward. Mikey and I shared a story the other day about how both of us getting hired was Ken Chen DMing us on Twitter and being like, hey, just do it. And I think that ethos is pretty much like what everything good about BTS comes from, is that Ken Chen was like, I have an idea, and then the consequences will come through later. And if the consequences were you're a 6-hour flight away from the events you need to manage, so be it. We'll figure it out. So, yeah.
Rachael, what do you think?
I think you took a ragtag group of people and put them together who all love something, Melee, and then it just worked out, honestly. Like, none of us, very few of us were college graduates. We're all just, like, kids who wanted to try something, and it just kind of worked out, yeah.
The Cheat.
Yeah, I do think a lot of it just comes from the origins of the company and LD being somebody who actually just, loved his community and wanted to conduct business, but be his authentic self in the corporate culture. Kind of followed from that in a space where most people, most esports companies are just run by boomers who want to make a quick buck, but BTS was absolutely not that.
Hotbid, what do you think?
So I think BTS identified an opportunity for arbitrage by going to a scene that basically paid people no money and got a bunch of people that are willing to work hard for no money. So it's kind of like, we're not making Apple phones, but we're making creative stuff.
Yeah, I agree. Buy low, sell high, over and over. Okay. Let's move on to some depressing topics real quick. So in a much more real sense, I'm asking how you guys pulled it off, but in a much more real sense, you did not pull it off. What happened? Much like Steve from Minecraft, do nice guys just always finish last? The cheat.
I did say that like the corporate origins were much different from most of esports, but much of what we relied on was not. The Smash Summit series was reliant pretty heavily on sponsorship revenue to make it happen. And when that dries up, you're kind of just fucked. And that's backwards from, I think, how competition and sports should be structured and have been historically. I think esports needs to be rooted in schools, and colleges, and retirement homes like pickleball, and not in the marketing departments of game developers.
All right. Zane, what do you think?
Oh, this is the biggest. I mean, esports is legitimately like a .com level bubble, and it has been forever. The number one qualification to work in esports is whether you can lie to people effectively about something is fake. And for a long
What's an example
time,
of a lie you've told for esports?
Oh, putting Newzoo numbers in when we're talking to sponsors. Literally everyone in esports has done that and felt bad about themselves after doing it. But yeah, I mean, you lie about the viewership and what actual revenue streams there are, when in reality, esports has not built a way of monetizing viewership because it doesn't have like carriage fees or anything that are necessary for like really robust sports packages and things. So the bubble's bursting, and we're an unfortunate little facet of that.
Hotbid, what do you think? Bubble burst? Anything in your control?
I would say maybe we didn't hire enough Melee people. Maybe we should have hired more
Very
Melee
good.
people, and,
Very good.
Then we can work with no salaries for a longer time. So we'd be alive for another 5 years, maybe.
Yeah.
I say
I like
but
this exploit the
wasn't
workers
part of
vibe you've got going on. It's really it's something special. Rachel, what do you think? Should you have exploited more?
Yeah, I think so. I think the vibes were just off though. It was like thing after thing after thing, domino effect of things happening that just kind of killed the company. And then, we just didn't get our vibes back on. Maybe we should have hired Spark. I think that would have fixed a lot of things. And he's a Melee player. He probably would have done it for free.
It's the intersection of Melee player and somehow good at everything.
I don't like that Rachel watched game film of last week and now thinks that she can just bring that here.
She can just spark her way into winning.
All I've been
you bring up the king, and I'm like, you know what? That's right. I like Spark.
God damn it!
Playing Minecraft.
You're a 2-time winner. The cheat. This is
I know.
All right.
I've got the formula.
Let's move on to our next topic. Not everything doom and gloom, or actually, that's not our next topic. We're still in doom and gloom for a little bit. Barring some change in expectations, the last Melee stream hosted by BTS Smash as a living company was the Black Excellence Melee Invitational, won by Salt. The stream featured amazing gameplay, Melee Jeopardy, hosted wonderfully by Wills, and video between sets educating viewers on racism. Is there hope that the BTS channel can continue to be used to support events that want to reach a wider audience? Or will that 400K followers just sit vacant? Rachel, what do you think? What do we do with this dead channel?
I think we should just kill it completely. Yep. I think we should just kill Melee completely. I know. I think we should follow this doomer perspective that you've instilled in us in the first 3 topics and just, just say goodbye.
Okay. Just kill it. What do you think, Zane?
I think that there's a comedian I really like by the name of Chris Gethard who hosted a show for a little bit where instead of him actually hosting it, he would just use his platform to like have comedians on and they could run whatever they want on their on his local access television show. And I envisioned that, and I mean that in that like I don't think it needs to be Smash related. I think we can just do whatever we want to on there, and whoever has the best idea gets to take over the channel for a week.
Why do you measure the best idea in terms of dollars that go to Mikey, who now has the keys to the kingdom or something? Like, how does that work?
I think you measure it strictly in terms of how many followers you can lose each week. And then once you reach the end of 400,000, then you kill the channel.
You have to spend your clout on changing the world.
Mm-hmm. Change the world. Like
Mikey, what do you think?
Said. I mean, I've brought this up. I don't know what's going to happen to it. I really hope we can keep it around in some way, shape. I guess there's technically some like value there, so I don't know if it gets sold off, if that's even like within the terms of service of Twitch for that to happen. I really don't know, but I'm gonna do whatever I can to make sure that it stays alive and that we can still stream Smash on it.
Hotbid, do you have some kind of backdoor access? Are you going to let us just mess around with it, or what's going on?
So I hear a lot of no clear solutions here. So I have a very obvious plan of what we should do. So we should rename the channel to Nintendo of America 2. Okay, and then we just pretend to be them and stream PM the entire time.
We've already been doing that for years. It's time to just be a little more literal. Yeah.
What can they do to us? The company's already dead.
Yeah.
Are they gonna sue us? You know.
I do really like, unironically, the idea of just being just the most annoying we can possibly be. Just punish the people who killed us, like ghosts. I think that's a good way to live after death, right?
Yeah, let's go. I'm
All
down.
right. Let's move on to our next topic. Y'all are pretty much in agreement on most things. I'm waiting for the disagreement.
You have to. I don't have any authority over what to do with the Twitch channel. Like we all.
Why did you get
like, what are we going to do with the channel? Who knows? That's because he left us. He left us. He's not beholden to the company
anymore. He's not your boss right now.
We're contracted for 7 more days.
Hotbid, did you instill a culture of fear?
I don't work at the company anymore. You know. I don't think. Hey, I don't have any control over anything anymore. I can say what I want.
That's what I'm saying. All right, let's move on to our next topic. Not everything is doom and gloom. Kilroy is this weekend at my alma mater, Indiana University, and has an incredible lineup for a regional of its size, and is streaming on Mango's channel. Coinbox is doing pretty well. Collision is coming up. Super Smash Con looks to be coming back strong, and yet we got Panda Cup gone, Smash World Tour gone, sponsors drying up, BTS gone. What does the Melee scene look like going forward? What should we scale back? What should stay the same?
I think. Can I go first?
Yeah.
You didn't call on anyone.
I think influencer. I'm gonna go. I think influencer-based streaming is like a really good way forward, and we've seen this with Mango, like promoting the new Mang in SoCal. This is honestly the path for just esports in general. Is that. And you've seen it, is that you move towards influencers. It's why Cutie Cinderella is helping host LCS, doing a great job with it. But it's because influencers actually have way more power to move people than teams do, and you don't have to pay as many salaries, even if the influencers require an appearance fee. So I think that influencer-based streaming is a great idea, and we should keep doing it. And as opposed to in like channels other than that, I don't know. I don't really have thoughts on that right now. But
Mikey, why doesn't like a basketball player do this? Why doesn't like LeBron have a Twitch channel and start like forcing them to put games on the channel?
Because
why is this only like a valid thing for Melee?
Rights deals with the NBA, who owns monopoly on their image and everything. Yeah, that's why. I don't know though, but like you mentioned sports, and you know, I've been thinking a lot recently about this team, AFC Wimbledon, in the 4th division of English soccer, whose owners,
the team that they bought, right?
Yep, shipped them up 50 miles to Milton Keynes, those fuckers, the franchise, and then a Phoenix club was rebuilt that is community owned. You pay for democratic voting rights in the club. You get to make decisions on who's on the board and everything like that. And it's all basically just a crowd-funded sports team. And I think Melee is a similar scale to that, honestly, and might be able to operate in a similar way, sort of cooperatively with a Patreon that you get certain perks for. And you get to vote on shit like rule set committees, conduct. I think there's a bunch of things we could do there.
So you think Melee should like become a big old democratic commune, worker owned by the people, and then we vote on what we decide streams go to? You want to trust it to the people?
Sure. I think we can outsource more to the people. Certainly. We sit in our back rooms with our fives, you know, these dark shadowy figures in their group chats.
Rachael, what do you think? Should we give Melee back to the people? What should we scale back? What should stay the same?
Yeah, I think we should just start hosting things in like Boise and like Sandusky. I think those are great places to host things. I think that hosting things in like big cities is just too expensive, and we do need to scale back and kind of rebuild and wait for, you know, the esports market to come back up. And hopefully we don't all go into a recession. But I don't really see the value of going to large cities when Melee players don't even really leave the venue anyway. So why does it matter if we're in like Los Angeles versus Sandusky? I think it's the same experience for most people.
Shout out
People hated
Mississippi.
Shine because they told the truth. Shine has been ahead of the times for a while now.
Yeah, because everyone loves Ontario, California, home of the prestigious tournament
Yeah.
series main
But
stage.
is the
Let's
venue
go.
actually that much cheaper in Ontario versus like a Boise,
No.
Idaho, or like
No,
an Indiana?
it's
Like it's still LA.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah.
We can all agree Ontario sucks now that main stage isn't happening this year, right? Fuck Ontario.
Fuck Ontario. Always and forever.
Fuck
Yeah.
that
I
place.
kind of liked Ontario. I thought the
Fuck
mountains
I
were
you.
like
pretty.
Ontario.
What?
There was a Denny's. That was the only upside. The Denny's right by the convention center. That was lit.
What are they? What are you guys? What's wrong with Ontario? Those are haters.
Dude, what is
Yes.
good about it?
And you're not venue.
There's an
built.
airport.
Wow.
You guys have not been to Chantilly, Virginia. I
no
think Ontario
train.
competes.
I got a trivia question right the other day because it asked what Tyson's used to be known as, and Pound was there one time. It was Tyson's Corner.
All right, let's move on to our next topic.
Whoa, I don't get to say a take on this
No,
one?
I go ahead. Go ahead. What do you want? What do you think?
I disagree with Zane's influencer-based strategy. I feel like
Okay.
you're one scandal away from losing everything. So I
True.
don't want to trust. Look, the Smash community is a little spoiled. Ludwig's, been pretty nice and pretty loyal, been
pretty.
pretty whatever the whole time.
Yeah.
So I feel like we haven't hit the top of live stream fail. Your entire scene is gone because someone did something bad yet. So I would never trust an usually they don't care about us. Like,
You don't
fuck
think that
you,
Mango has
Ken.
had sufficient PR training?
I think that if we're gonna be scaling back anyways to a level where locals are the big things and regional level events, then their influencers will come and go, and so you can use Mango for that to bolster something that wouldn't have as big a following. Because like NYC Melee, great big channel. If HBox gave us his channel, we would instantly have 10 times the viewership. I know because he steals all our viewership every other Wednesday, right?
Zane's right, and I'm gonna take it up a notch and take the entire BTS streaming enterprise and give it over to Aiden Ross on Kick, and it's gonna be fantastic.
We'll just
No,
do a
I'm not
simple
saying
transfer of
for our
400.
majors, but for like a regional like Jack is talking about, like Kilroy, yeah, I think an influencer is
But I don't
always
get
going
it.
to
Why
get
not?
more viewership.
Why is that
there.
this not applicable to majors too? Like if we don't care about changing between year over year, why couldn't Genesis do Mango this year, and then if Mango gets canceled, they move on to somebody else next year?
Because I think legacy matters more for majors, and so having a different organization there is like
This is the
a
legacy
good
of a
stopgap to what
URL
Ken is
though.
talking about.
Is there a big difference in the production?
I think it's interesting to say steals the viewers. If you can't, if he's watching and you can't beat him just reacting to your stream, then you're commentating.
No, that's not what
He
I'm talking
grinded for
about.
this
That's
view.
not what I'm talking about. He's hosting the tournament on the same day. He's not reacting to it. If he
okay.
just watched Nightclub, that would be great. No, but he's and I actually don't even care about him hosting it on the same day. It's fine. It makes it easier for me to try and get top 8 every other week.
Have you gotten money since he's started competing?
Fuck no, Jack. What do you think?
You're close. Maybe you'll get. Hey, I don't know. I'm a believer in Zane. I don't know. What am I supposed to do? All right. Now we can move on to our next topic.
You think locals pay out to top 8?
Hey, mine did. What's the best way to job hunt after you're swept up in the debris of esports carnage? Anybody could start.
ChatGPT. You already know. You already know what's up, Jack. I think the best way to do it is brainstorm, dump all of your ideas, and then have ChatGPT just write your resume for you. I think it's a goated strat that hasn't failed yet. And we've proved that it definitely made all of our resumes better when we put our resumes into it.
Yeah, it knows about active verbs. I will say that. ChatGPT is much more disciplined in resume writing than I've ever been. Anybody else?
Here's what you do. You do what you're supposed to do as a goddamn creative. You turn on stream and you make content and you let chat tell you where you're going to work next. Where you're going to work is at True Foods Los Angeles and Tempe, Arizona as a tuna and salmon cutter.
Do you have a lot of experience with salmon cutting? Like, how would you get through that interview?
Who knows? I can cut things real good. I'll tell you what, and that's what I'd say. And they'd say, yeah, all right, man. You're in.
You're a fast learner. You've been in fast-paced environments with deadlines. And that's exactly what you need in a salmon kitchen.
Mhm,
We've
mhm.
cut content before.
Yeah.
I can
Cutting
use
content,
Adobe
cutting
Premiere.
fish. Control K.
I think the most important part of losing your job is to ensure that you have a really elegant way to bring it up in every conversation for the next 2 weeks.
That's right.
Without people like necessarily asking you about it. Like when they ask, how's your day been? How's your week been? You should really have it down to like, it's been okay, but not great. And then make it natural when you segue into, I lost my dream job, the only job that I've ever
Can I get a
truly
couple
loved.
variations on your delivery of like, hey, your week hasn't been great? Like,
Yeah, I can. I talked to my trainer at the gym the other day, and he was like, "How was your week?" And I was like, "Oh man, you know how I told you I had that meeting on Monday? Yeah, wasn't great. That went pretty well. There was the emails that I sent to my professors to ask for a later deadline, where I go, unfortunately, the company made the decision to let everyone go, but they're treating us really well. Yeah,
they're the good guys here. Don't worry.
yeah."
Hotbid, what do you think? What's your tips?
So I have some actual advice if you're looking for a job. So first thing you have to do, okay, so you find the position, okay, that you're going to apply for. Then you go to the company and you find the highest ranking person's email at the company. This is actually pretty easy. You go to the website, they have it, right? You can search their socials, right? Then you send them an email, okay, or you send them a package, okay. And what that needs to have.
Wait a minute.
What? Sorry.
What's in the package?
What's in
I'm
the
getting
box?
to that. Are you supposed to interrupt me?
Oh, sorry.
in the middle
Go
of
ahead.
okay.
I thought you were
So-
moving beyond that.
So you send them a treasure chest, okay, a package to their house, okay, their home address. You say, I applied for a job, and you make them do some sort of thing to open it. Like maybe it's a puzzle, maybe it's a lock or whatever. And they open it, and inside is your resume, okay? And then I guarantee you, they talk to the hiring manager, and they're like, this fucking weirdo sent me this thing. You should look into him. The resume seems actually kind of good.
Can watch Glass Onion.
That's what I was gonna say too.
I'm not done.
So,
I'm
Ken,
not
have
done.
you
Okay.
used
And then
this
the
effectively?
Resume,
How-
you have to lie on the resume as much as you can to
Yeah.
talk yourself up. Like that's just how it works. And then that's it. You get the interview. Easy.
But the puzzle doesn't lie. It's impossible to lie about how cool the puzzle is.
Yeah. You got to make it challenging enough, but solvable.
Cool. Have you used this to any success in your career?
Actually, yes. So the reason why Team Liquid had an original thing with Valve to do their Dota shirts is because we sent a treasure chest with our merchandise in it, and all the Valve employees were wearing it, and the person in charge of merchandise at Valve was like, "Where'd you guys get those shirts?" And that's how we got a partnership with them.
Do you think it's different
Legitimately.
do you think it's different when the treasure chest comes from an individual?
Yeah, that's you representing a company. Whereas, like, if I send my headshot like this, and that's what they get when they open the treasure chest, then I just get put on a watch list. I get a restraining order.
You guys are getting too hung up on the anthrax angle here. It's
Look, if you
charming.
send a random box, it can be anthrax. If you send a funny-looking treasure chest, everyone's gonna open that.
Right, because serial killers are
They're not gonna send you a
notoriously
funny
disorganized and don't have patterns or plans to what
You
they
gotta
do.
see what's in it.
When has anyone ever sent anthrax in a treasure chest? That's never happened. It's always an envelope or something that's like, oh, your insurance information might be in here. It's never like something you got to lockpick.
I get a lot of letters that look like checks, and then when they open them, they're not checks.
Yeah.
All right, so the couple ways to get a job: ChatGPT, beg your friends and kind of throw yourself upon their feet. Send a letter in the mail with your resume, but make sure that there's a puzzle that's just right. Or go on stream and farm it for content. These are our 4 strategies for those of you out there who've been swept up in the debris of esports carnage. Our next topic, one of the biggest innovations Summit brought to Melee, besides Uncrustables on site, was the vote-in system. Over the years, people discovered the debauchery of democracy as they vied for votes. What was your favorite Summit campaign? Anybody can start.
But you called it democracy?
Hey, it's medium democracy.
You think that system's democracy?
It's medium democracy. The first round is democratic. After that, it's all money.
Okay. All right. Well,
I've got the stats. Hey,
Okay.
come on.
Did I ever tell you, Jack, that I wanted to introduce super delegates into Summit voting? I thought that would solve the system.
So you looked at the existing primary system and you said that's good and makes people happy.
No, I think it generates content. Have you ever watched CNN? That's what I wanted to do.
Everybody's favorite channel.
Kornacki.
Yeah. So what was your favorite Summit campaign? You never saw the super delegates. Was
I
there
won't
somebody
take.
that did a
I
good
won't
job for
take.
you?
I won't take Yingling from Mikey. My favorite summit campaign was because actually it's not my favorite summit campaign, and the thing that I wanted to like make happen with voting afterwards was when Johnny. Or no, when Lucky just did not run a campaign at all. I forget which summit it was. It was like one of the early ones, Summit 4 maybe. And he didn't run a campaign at all and purely scraped by on the power of Norwalk bias. And then Mango and S2J had to come over and get belligerently drunk at his house and stream for like 8 hours. And we're just there with the countdown until Joey got into Summit. That was my favorite campaign because I think it represented the things that I love the most, which is the down to the wire begging and pleading with people and the inherent undemocraticness that Mango just choose someone and they get in. I like that a lot.
That sounds to me like one of the more democratic things. Like, hey, the people choose and the people listen to Mango. The cheat. What do you think? What's your favorite?
There's one answer. You know what the answer is. It's fucking Nick Yingling. We pulled Nick Yingling out from the fucking dirt with nothing but name searching and the content that we made with no budget and fucking nothing and giving away some frame ones and smash camps, whatever. But Nick Yingling is the greatest campaign of all time, and you're welcome, Melee community, for doing that.
Rachel, is it the greatest cap of all time? Is this cap? What do you think?
It might be. I do want to call out Spark for lying in his campaign when he got in. He was supposed to dress up as Zelda, and he got the costume in Pakistan and then left it there and has never dressed up as Zelda since. And I think that the community is owed him dressing up as Zelda and being on stream.
That's very fair.
Cool.
That's and the next time he comes on Fourside Fights, he'll start off at negative 10 points if he's not wearing the Zelda outfit.
Yep.
Do you generally endorse lying in your summit campaign? Because there was definitely a lot of that over the years.
It's worked so many times.
Yeah, I think it's good for content.
Yeah. That's the thing that people didn't seem to get is you could just say you're going to do something, not do it, and be happy that you got in. Hotbid, what do you think? What was your favorite?
Okay, can I ask a question to your question? Do you
Yes.
want a real answer for me, or do you want me to tell you what I think the ideal system actually should be?
We'll get to that later. There'll be a question on experiments that you could bring that up if you want. You can
No,
say
I
it
got
now.
too many
I don't.
experiments to say, so I want.
Sure,
this
go
one
for it. Go for
specifically
it. What do you
about
wish the
voting.
summit
Okay.
voting system
So
looked
what
like?
I think it should be is you do it, there's no qualifications, you just vote. And whoever you vote in, that person then picks one person to also compete in the event, and it could be anyone. Okay? So basically that person picks and then you vote in another person. Now, it's content because they can do a whole announcement of who they're picking. There can be a whole like campaign process to even get chosen by this person. So it's double as exciting.
Yeah, I've heard of this idea once or twice in my life.
You don't like that one?
I do like it. It does. It sounds. I wasn't sure if you were aware of my vice president idea, but I think
Okay.
that's a little bit different. Which would be that you just campaign together from the beginning.
Okay, well, my question to you then, Jack, is if you were voted into Summit, who
Yeah.
would be the person that you picked?
Me?
Yeah.
This is one of those things that is so beyond.
I'm trying to lower his points, everyone. It's really hard to. I can't. There's no button for
You're
me.
trying to
keep
lower
giving
your
an answer.
points?
Your points. I'm trying. Isn't that what happens if you give an answer that's not good? I can lower it, or is that not what I'm supposed to do?
You could try to hijack the show. It's not going to work. I've got the buttons here. I've got all the power. I've got the mute button.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Who would I pick? I pick.
Nick
I wouldn't pick the
Yingling
cheat. Yeah, I
again.
picked Nick Yingling. Let's do Nick Yingling again. No, I'd actually pick PhD Louis. I picked the TO of Full Bloom. I think he would have a great time. He's been kind of out of the melee scene for a long time, but he's the guy that's the reason
Clearly, you
that
picked Blur.
I'd pick Blur. Please, God.
No, that was a good one.
All right.
Ken. I appreciated it.
Who would you pick, Rachel?
Honestly, I think I'd pick my mom. I think that'd be funny.
Zane, who would you pick?
Whiskers, no question.
Let's go.
Easy.
Mikey, would you you already did this. You just did this with
Nick
with
Yingling again.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to our next topic. On Tuesday, I knew for sure that BTS was dead because Mewtwo King tweeted out, "I want to experience Summit one more time," like with an X emoji. I never did vote-ins before. It's too late for that, right? Foursiders, what are your favorite top players are idiots moments?
I really liked when a top player lied about being vegan so that we would specially deliver them food. That was good. And then we caught them because when they were specially delivering food, they asked for a food item with meat.
It's not an idiot play. It's a brain genius play, and you know it.
No, because then we banned them from ordering food like that.
My favorite moment was at TFT Summit. So I don't know if you guys remember this from the viewer perspective, but when you're watching the BTS main set, there's off to the side like 2 washing machines on the right side of the set, right? And on day 1 of TFT Summit, 2 separate players both went up to those washing machines and tried to put food in them thinking they were microwaves. They are non-functional washing machines, but they both thought that they were functional microwaves, and they both tried to do it. One of those players did have COVID at the time, probably. We did have to put him out of the event later, and then he won the event, but that was a really lovely moment.
By the way, I do want to say, if any of you should name a player, that is worth quite a few points.
Oh, it was Kurum X and DQA, I think, were the 2 people.
All right, that's 10.
Kurum X
You always get 10 for naming.
Naming
I love
Rachel's
a name
player.
and
It was
shame.
Kadoran.
Instant.
Why did you do this? You're just sniping points from me. You
I
little
want the
rat.
points.
Rachel, would you have said it, Rachel? Would you have said?
Fuck no, I'm protecting their identities.
Okay, I'm gonna give Rachel half points because I think that's a relatively principled stand, but I do have to give the cheat points for giving me the exclusive. All right, Mikey, what was your favorite top player? Top players are idiots moments.
Yeah, it's definitely when HBox thought he could guard me at Summit 11, and he got absolutely destroyed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was perhaps the greatest overshoot of HBox's life. Hotbid, what do you think?
So this is I think M2K years after the event still messaged our project manager to get him Ubers when he's not even like at the event or even close to where it is. I think that's my favorite one. Yeah.
Wait,
So
just any
Just
Uber,
randomly.
just like from his house
Yeah,
to
just, like,
to get
random.
groceries
Yeah.
because he's M2K?
I think that actually happened. Yeah. I think it was
That's incredible.
Race or yeah.
M2K has a pair of my socks still from HTC Throwdown.
How did this happen? Is this just because the scene was really small and then it got really big? Like, but Kadoran's young. Kadoran is what's going on?
Why are they like this? Is that what you're asking?
Make it make
Oh,
sense.
I have another
I've
one. I
asked
have another one.
why are Ganon's like this, but why are just all of them like this? Go ahead, hop in.
So we had multiple players ask us to text them their contracts.
The W2s?
No, just like the contract they have to sign, like the appearance releases, all that kind of stuff. Like to text them the contract. Like what are we like line by line? We're gonna text it to them. Like it's multiple pages.
So what was like the strategies over the years? Like, did you guys improve
we
as an
said
organization?
No, we didn't text it to them.
Sure, but as an organization, did you feel like you improved over the years at wrangling this kind of insanity?
No, I think they got better. Their expectations got higher. You know, at the first summit, it was like, oh my god, they have water, and like at the 8th summit, it's like, so I need these very specific fish oil tablets. Can you guys order them to the house?
Otherwise, my
TFT
hands will
Summit,
fall off.
By the way.
Yeah.
TFT Summit players complained that the food was not healthy enough, which was insane. Like, because usually they're so happy to get Raising Cane's and stuff.
Is the
But,
food
yeah.
healthy?
No,
No, it's not.
particularly.
It's mostly fast food. Yeah.
it's
but
not
they were
McDonald's.
gym
This wouldn't
filled.
happen in Ontario. Just saying.
Yeah.
It's like 20 minutes away.
Yeah, but they have a Denny's over there.
They do have a Denny's, and Denny's is the peak of health food. All right, let's move on to our next topic. This is Mafia at Summit. Ken, in the clip we used in the opening of this episode, you ran a game of Mafia where the identity of power roles was hidden both from the players and chat, then revealed at the end of the game that there were no Mafia.
Yeah.
You then ranted about how stupid chat was. Panelists, do you agree with Ken that Mafia chat was stupid to assume that a game of Mafia was indeed being played? How do you feel about the allegations that Ken regularly rigged Mafia setups? Rachel, let's start.
Honestly, I don't have a take on Mafia and Ken. I have a take on the viewers who would consistently message me in the support email asking me to please put on Mafia for their 5 8-year-old and 7-year-old who are watching Mafia late at night and having top players say like fucking shit and expletives. There is a family out there somewhere in America that was raised on Mafia, and I just want to meet them.
And that family is now broken. Mikey, what do you think? Does Ken beat the allegations?
Ken absolutely doesn't beat the allegations, but I do think that he was right to dunk on Twitch chat a little bit. If you've ever played Mafia
It's hard.
or moderated Mafia at Summit and then gone back and looked at chat or YouTube comments, they are fucking ruthless, and they all think that they're brain geniuses, and they all think that they would absolutely be right. And I would own them in real life if we were to meet in the marketplace of Mafia ideas.
Zane, you and I were in the chat sometimes, and we were brain geniuses. We were
brain
right,
geniuses, and we got it all. We got it right every single time.
Is it fair to be included in Hotbid's rant when there actually was not a game being played? This is crazy. I cannot believe you got away with this.
But Jack, I actually have to agree with Ken here, because my favorite Mafia game I've ever played, legitimately, was a game of Forum Mafia that you and I played, where the entire first half of the game was a fake Mafia game. And it was fucking genius. It was so smart. It was genuinely my favorite. I'm not trying to pander. It came to mind here. It was my favorite game I've ever played. I did terribly in it, and I was like talking about it afterwards. I think it was great. It was a one-off. He didn't run it ever again, and it was a great idea that one time. And yeah, fucking with chat, fucking with the players, fucking with the viewers is always fun. So I
you're
think
saying
it was
I
a smart
iterated
idea.
on Ken's idea and made it better by having the dream game become a real game.
If that's what you're hearing, yeah.
Yeah, Ken, do you think Zane is right that I was better at running Mafia games than you?
Look, everyone thinks that they're good at running Mafia, that they're good at spotting Mafia when they clearly see who it is. You know, you're never in the game. But what I'd like to tell is a backroom story about our production team running Mafia. Now, the production team, this is the end of a 14-hour day usually, right? And we're sitting there, you know, like we're running Mafia. And there's always a ambiguity about whether there will be a second Mafia game or not. Okay.
Yep.
So it's like 8 p.m., 8:30 p.m. It's like, should we run another one? Now, me being the sadistic person that I am, what I do is I make them coin flip for it on Google, right? So they could either immediately go home and rest in their beds for the next 14-hour day, or they have to do another 90 minutes of Mafia. Now, let me tell you, the atmosphere in the production room where 9 people can go home or not, I gotta say, I wish we recorded some of those reactions, Mikey. It is like we won World War II when they call the coin flip correct. When we do not call the coin flip correct, it is awful. And the best part about that is it's not my fault. They called it.
It's Tommy's fault.
It's Tommy's fault.
Poor
Not my
Tommy.
fault. So they call the coin flip wrong. We're running another Mafia game. Not my fault. So, wish we broadcast that part. We should have broadcast that. That would have been amazing.
I'll just say one other thing, which is that the viewers for many years were deprived of the joy that is playing Mafia with Ken Chen, legitimately, because I got to play games with him at TFT Summit. And there was a game we played on day 2 after hours when the stream went down. And my favorite game of Mafia in person ever, because what happened was Bryce Bloom had been begging to be Mafia the entire time. Bryce Bloom, our lawyer, Bryce Bloom, TFT.
Yeah, if you guys don't know who that is, that's esports law.
Esports law.
He's a pretty famous, you know.
And the TFT players are very, very, very proud of their own Mafia prowess. And Bryce had been begging to be Mafia. He had been town so much. He thought he was the town leader. He thought he was the greatest player. And on day 1, yeah, he was good. And on day 1 of this game that we played, Bryce was getting a little talkative. There was a little bit of suspicion on him, right? Like a normal amount. And Ken went, guys, we should kill Bryce. And I agree, whatever the points are being made that he's Mafia, that's great. But I just think if he's Mafia and we get him right now, it would be the greatest thing of all time. And we killed him and he was Mafia. And I think we perfect gamed because of it, because they just fell apart after it. It was great.
A professional lawyer.
Yeah.
Who argues for a living.
Owned.
We got him on his first day.
And that's why BTS is dead now. He was our lawyer.
For the content.
Did he ever come back and exact revenge, or was that it? It's over for life?
Bryce was like, "Yeah, I think it's a little bit late. I'm gonna go back to my hotel now."
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Of course.
Oh God.
I love you, Bryce.
All right. Any final thoughts on Mafia? Nobody really rigging Mafia. What does that mean? Did you just decide who the power roles were, or
No,
did
I
you
didn't
decide?
rig my. What these people? This is some fake accusations. I didn't rig anything. Okay.
Sources
Mafia is
sources
Mafia.
told me that they've been saying it.
It's
Look.
slime. We don't have to beat around the bush. She said it on a podcast broadcast
Slime-
to like
Slime
hundreds of
doesn't know what
thousands of people.
Slime is lying to you.
I will say that, you know,
If he was
maybe-
here, we could talk about it, but he's not. So like,
That's right. That's
gave
right.
me-
And you're the first one to bring
Yeah.
it up, so you
Fair.
get 2
Yeah,
points.
he's
for
lying.
punishing the
maybe
Flaker.
there are some acts of God that come into play here. There's something special that happens in the studio, because one time between games, HBox comes up to me and he's like, "Hey, Mikey, you want some wonton?" I'm like, "You know I love that." And he's like, he says to me, "You know what you have to do." And I swear to God, I never rigged a game of Mafia, but the red face card fell into his hand that round. And it was a great game.
It just
That's
happened to fall.
incredible.
Just happened.
like
Listen,
remember the
gravity
game
is love. If I learned from Interstellar.
That's
Sorry, go
right.
ahead.
I mean, remember the game where none successfully shot someone on the first Bond did or whatever on the first
Yeah.
night.
Yeah.
That not rigged.
And then he showed his card.
Random. Yeah, and then he just shows it. Yeah. That stuff just happens. It just naturally Mafia's gonna create moments like that.
Yeah.
Rachel, you had one game you hosted, I think you said. What was your experience? What's the perils of hosting Mafia at Summit?
Dude, I swear to God, I just they told me whose everyone's role was, and then I instantly forgot and didn't write it down and had to re-ask, and then I got someone's
Tough.
name wrong, and it was awful. But it's okay because no one actually talked about that in the comments. I just got harassed on Twitter. So
this is
Wait, whose name did you get wrong?
Grant from All Chat
All
Esports.
chat. Ken Hotbid, All Chat Esports Chen.
Yeah.
okay.
Or maybe it was Trey. I don't remember, which is the worst part.
All right, let's move on to our next topic. Summit also brought to the forefront messy, casual couch commentary. Right about the time when I still thought that wearing a suit and tie was the best way to get hired. I genuinely believe that Summit had a role in saving commentary from itself. Do you think that this influence will hold going forward, or will we be pulled back to the dark days?
I think it holds.
It
I
100%
think
holds. Yeah.
every tournament's using the buzz commentary.
Summit style.
And the people want it too, Jack. You and me are at the forefront of this. Somebody called me the GOAT on Reddit recently.
The goat of what?
The GOAT of commentary in Melee.
Yo.
And people are saying that they're like, yeah, you know
They're
what?
waking up.
Let's just do quad streams and just hand over the whole stream to Jake, Mikey, and Jack, and just let them fucking ride with it. They want it. It's
Okay. Let's
I
take
don't
that
know.
one Reddit comment, and that's just what we show the sponsors in our next deck. And the sponsors
That's
are now
right.
Mango Stream, because we don't have any of the real ones to fake various data for. Rachel, what do you think? Is slime commentary?
Slime commentary?
Yeah, is slime commentary
around.
here to
It's
stay?
his?
Sticking
We're
around
just
because
attributing
you
it to
also
him?
Live commentary. Yep.
Yeah.
He's not even
couch
here.
commentary here to stay?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's really popular. I think that Mikey, you got that comment though because you were voice acting as Morty from Rick and Morty that one time.
No. It's
I
even
think
worse
that they
now.
just
Never
really
liked Rick
like
and
It's
that.
Morty.
even
We always
worse
hated
now.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we don't like the voices either, and we're not good at them.
Yeah.
Ken, what do you think?
I think that couch style commentary is a fundamental misunderstanding of how we made that work. So the reason why it works is not because it's a certain style or type or whatever. It is because when we introduce new people, we're introducing them in an environment that has 3 familiar people that people like.
Yeah.
So if you are being introduced on commentary with Scar, Toph, and Vish, you are gonna be liked. People are just gonna like you. You're not gonna take over the conversation. It's gonna flow really well because they're professionals. So and by the way, we introduced people like Vish was not in that list of whatever super well-known people when we first got him, and we didn't switch 4 people at once. It was always a slow introduction. So it's never like so what we were not afraid to do is be like, you are not famous enough yet. You are not good enough to the familiarity with the audience yet. You couldn't get there, but you just need to be in the right environment to get there. We can't throw 6 new people, have them on couch commentary and be like, good luck. You need to have 3 4 people that people know. They do the bulk of the commentary. You slowly introduce a new person. They start getting liked, and then they become a staple. So
this is what I'm doing with Contra on Fourside Fights.
Yeah.
Every episode. Zane, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with Ken. It's also like Mikey was on Summit commentary and it went through the same thing, and it was a great way to like expose Mikey to a bigger audience. And I
Now
think
people
that
call you the GOAT.
now they call him the GOAT, but it might be for
Many
his
people
Rick
are
and Morty.
saying this.
But I do have to disagree with one aspect of what Ken said, which is, well, it's not disagree. That is all great and it's true, but putting people into nefarious situations where they don't have someone to guide them in is also a great aspect of couch commentary. It's what happened at the Ludwig Invitational, and it's the reason why we had people going on and on and on and on and on, which might not always be the most engaging commentary, like in terms of talking about the match, but it creates a moment in and of itself. You get entire Twitter threads talking about the 30 minutes that one commentator was on, and I think that that's fine. I think that Webbs once said that the purpose of commentary is always to add to what is on the screen. You always want to be in addition to what is happening. And I think that what we've moved on from is that doesn't just mean analysis. It doesn't just mean commentary on the game. It can mean like dinner and a movie as well. And I think that that's hype when there's that happening. It's also just what happens at locals. Like it's what's happening at locals already. And I think that there is no reason that can't be extended, and it will continue to extend. Yeah, it's here forever.
Yeah. Is anybody going to be able to do a quad stream ever again, except at online events?
Why would they not be able to?
It was a really expensive setup, I thought, and I don't know who else had like the equipment to do it.
Well, but it wasn't our equipment. Like we didn't own it. It was Tizier.
Okay.
Yeah, Tizier is the GOAT for doing it, and so contract Tizier if you want to do it. You know.
Okay, so Cocaine Wednesday on the menu. I love that.
Right.
Okay. Any final thoughts on Summit commentary, the changes that happened to commentary because of it? There's also this more existential thing that I thought I saw, which was we just stopped thinking that we had to put on a sports show, like an ESPN.
Took off the ties.
broadcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
the
we
ties are
started.
I don't have any.
thinking
The ties
that
are
here.
nice.
Well, okay. The number one thing people ask about for analyst desks is they compare it to Inside the NBA, right? That's what everyone always says, right?
And they've never
Inside
watched
the
Inside
NBA
the
traditionally is not a normal analyst desk. They just talk about fucking whatever.
Whatever.
Right? So, you know, there's 3 things you'll always hear. We want it to be more like Inside the NBA. We want to be the what is it? Drive to Survive of X, right? That's another one that you hear literally 100 times a week.
Shannon and
It's always
Skip.
that. Yeah. So
I don't know these people. Yeah, I know
Skip
Tony
Bayless?
Reale.
you don't know Skip Bayless?
I only know Tony Reale. Hey, we don't need to get into it now, but I have a shocking lack of knowledge of the things that we are
You've
currently
seen gifs of Shannon
painting.
Sharp.
Oh yeah, I've
You've
seen
seen
clips.
my-
I look at the clips
okay.
and they get on my feed. They get to my doorstep. We watch that content, but I don't see like a full episode.
Yeah.
All right. Let's move on to our next topic. Summit also had a huge commitment to trying new ways of running brackets, tournaments, and content. Maybe that was all Aiden. I kind of think it was just something to do with the event itself. What experiments do you still want Smash events to run? What experiments did you wish more events embraced? Let's start with Mikey, the cheat.
Yeah, you know, I was talking to Blur about this idea the other day, and Jack also. But if Main Stage 2023 happened, what I wanted to do was the People's Major. And we do direct democracy. There are a whole bunch of decisions that we let people vote on, from rule set to broadcast stuff, commentary, whatever. I'm on this wave of let the people decide. You know, I think sometimes it's okay to give people autonomy at the expense of maybe what the best idea is. Just to fucking see what happens, and just because it's the right thing to do, you know. So I want to see the People's Major run.
People's Major. Rachel, any experiments that others should pick up or that you wish you had time for?
I really wish that one of the ideas that we threw around in that Discord group chat was being able to take points away from people with voting. And I think that would have been the most toxic, volatile system of all time, and I think it would have fixed the voting system, because I think people would have been nicer after that, and they would have been more appreciative of the fucked up voting system that already existed. But yeah, I also wanted to experiment with a system where we had like points or votes like roll over in a way, because the biggest complaint that top players always had was that it felt really shitty to be so close and then to not get in. and there was like no reward basically.
Yeah,
And
it's
so
an all-pay auction.
I think that if we had in some way rolled over votes and like given them a way to get VIP, because VIP is also worth something, that it would have maybe fixed some of their complaints.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like the idea of negative voting, because like you can always negative vote. It just means you do one vote for everybody else. But making that actually intuitive would be a huge relief to a lot of people. That I think that might have killed the Yingling campaign, though. That is my one fear.
Yeah.
We benefited a lot in that campaign by our opposition having a split focus. Hotbid, what do you think?
So I think people are gonna expect me to say the Smash Summit gun or Kill the Buzz or the Asylum program that we were gonna run. But
Yeah,
we're not here to talk about
I would
those
not
things.
give you points for those. They're overdone.
So here is what I actually think we should do if we had one more summit voting system. Okay, so what I think we should do is the results are hidden, and we actually bring everyone here in person, and literally on the day of that they're supposed to go in and get their food and play, they find out that they're not voted in. Okay, so it's like they're like right outside, and they come. They're about to get in the door, and they packed. They got all their shit. They're like ready to play in the tournament. They prepared. They practiced for it, and they know their groups and everything. Right as they're about to get in the door, then it's the voting show, and then we get to see some real like they get turned away like right there.
How
think
close
we do
is
that.
the zoom in on this scene?
Yeah, it would be amazing. Like they'd find out live, and they're at the doorstep of the tournament, and they either go in or they don't, and it's based on the show.
Speaking of which, I want to fucking finish Summit Survivor. God damn it, we got robbed of some great content.
It's crazy because I wasn't a Survivor watcher when it aired, but now I am. And Fendi as Jeff Probst is the greatest casting choice in the history of Melee.
That was we knew that right from the start, right? Fendi was Jeff Probst. That was the first thing we did. We were like, we got to find a Jeff Probst.
We start with Jeff, and we work our way out.
It's like 5 months before the event, we were like, all right, let's lock Fendi.
Who's your Boston Rob?
That's a great question. I feel like there are shades of Mango in Boston Rob. You know what I'm saying? You haven't even watched a Boston Rob season yet, but
Zane, what do you think?
All right, I got two things. The one really quick one is for Survivor. I wanted to straight up just do a reality show. I wanted to set up cameras in every single part of the studio. And for Survivor, I think that's how it would work, actually. Because Survivor was awesome being there. It was the first summit I was at as an employee. I had literally been hired the week before. But for the viewers, it was hard to track the subterfuge that was going on. We knew who had the idols. We knew the alliances. But without tracking that, it was hard. So I literally just wanted to do a reality show. But my real big one. Jack, are you familiar with season 1 of Yu-Gi-Oh? With Pegasus?
It might exist deep in the primordial goop of my being.
The Duelist Kingdom art. Okay, so I'll just tell you. In Duelist Kingdom, the way that you, at the Shadow Realm and all that, but the way that you gained access to the top 8 of the tournament was that you had star chips. And you could go around and you would duel other people and you would bet the star chips. And when you got the right amount of star chips and some other MacGuffin bullshit, you would get into the top 8, right? So I want to present to you Smasher's Kingdom, where the way that you qualify is that you have some little set amount of memorabilia, and at any point you can go around and wager these on a match with someone else, or on whatever the fuck you want, on rock, paper, scissors, on mini golf that we have set up. The total amount of these star chips determine the seeding going into the final bracket. I also think that we should host this on Catalina Island, in Avalon, the Catalina Casino, which fits because of the gambling thing, but has very reasonable rates for weddings that I've looked up. And I can't imagine they would charge us that much more for a Smash tournament. It's not an actual casino. It's just from the Spanish word casino, which means a fucking place that you hang out. I don't know.
Let's just still do this.
Yeah, and I think we can still do this. If I make money, we can all go to Catalina, keep the island theme there. We rent out the town of Avalon for the weekend, go play mini golf, go see who can eat the most ice cream the fastest, bet your star chips on it, and then whoever makes it in makes it in.
So
and also we set up a network of cameras.
You're
the
all
same time.
contractors now. How much does running an event like this with y'all as talent cost? How much is this going to run me?
Like 6K. It'll be fine.
Okay, we'll see. We'll see where we
Very
land
reasonable.
at the yeah, very reasonable. Okay, let's go on to our next topic. Anybody final thoughts on experiments that you wish you could have run or that
One more, okay, that
Yeah,
we
go
never
for it.
did. Okay, so I think that we've all played PUBG and Fortnite and all those games, the battle royales. I think what we should do is we have maybe not an island, but like a room, and it's filled with controller parts. And like a battle royale, every player runs into the room, and the first one that can put a controller together to unlock Falco or whatever, they win.
We
And it's
just
just a
pitched this.
time
We
thing.
legitimately just pitched this as one of the side events for the last summit, and
Well, you could have said something, but you didn't. It's my idea now.
Ah, shit.
No
Hey, that's how it goes.
points.
It's not about who's best; it's who's first.
No, it's not about the points. It's that this was gonna maybe be a side event at Smash Summit.
Yeah, and if you want to
15
build a
for Melee.
box or whatever, that shit it takes longer.
So I do want to
So-
lean on the last half of this question. I actually don't think we pretty much touched on it at all. Was there anything that Summit you felt innovated as in terms of tournament structure that the wider Melee scene did not adopt sufficiently? Like there's just things left on the table that everybody could be doing that they aren't doing for some reason.
That Summit did do already.
Yes.
Sending contracts to players and talent and contractors. I
Paying
think
people.
paying people. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Like business strategy and acumen, I would say.
What's the number one business acumen that TOs need to pick up from Summit? Like the top tip.
Contract
Yeah, honestly,
your words.
Write it down.
You
down.
have no idea how many times my fiance, who is about to be barred, by the way, she got the letter, so she is going to be admitted to the
Being
New York
barred
State
is a
bar.
good thing, guys. Not
Yeah.
it's not.
Yeah,
she's not
sorry.
getting banned.
The lawyer,
Barred,
not a lawyer yet.
banned. Ours,
Yeah,
not ends.
you have no idea how many times
Got
she would be
barred.
like, "So what's your contract for this event that you're commentating?" And I would just laugh at her and be like, "What are you talking about?" She'd go, "You don't have a contract? What if they like fuck you over?" And I'm like,
You just did this to me. You didn't give me a contract for whatever we just worked on last. I was like, I wonder how much Zane is going to pay me.
for Genesis?
I think so.
Yeah,
I
because
did not
getting-
get a contract.
Yeah,
verbal
no, I
contract.
did not do that. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah,
Verbal contracts count.
I've lost a lot of money to moving companies via verbal contracts of different kinds. All right, let's move on to our second to last topic. What are you most proud of from your time at BTS? Let's start with Ken.
Do you want a real answer or you want the fun answer?
Dude, you could do what you want with your life.
Okay, I'll give you the fun answer. The real
Okay.
answer is obviously we created something beautiful that hopefully is memorable.
yeah.
Yeah, whatever. So the fun answer, okay. So whenever someone is invited into the summit, I am tasked with doing an audit of their social media. Okay. Now, I have been efficiently doing this, so like it's important to do this quickly. So I have a search term list that is, boy, you guys should see it. It's amazing list. All right.
We've got it.
Now-
We have it. Yep.
You don't got everything. I don't want to show you everything about the list, but like,
There's
let
got
me
some
tell you,
secrets.
when you get someone that shows up to the event, there may be a young 20, 21-year-old that doesn't know anything about social media, and you bring them into a room, and you're just like, you should probably delete these 150 tweets. Now, they're trying to explain to you whatever, like, well, this one, like, let me just like explain, like, and I'm just like, bro, I got 16 more people to talk to. You don't have to explain it. No judgments from me. I've already seen the tweets. Just delete them. And let me tell you, nobody is their best friend faster than the guy that has seen all of their tweets that they can get canceled for, told them to delete them, and not told a soul. So there's some people that very much trust me.
Yeah.
And so I'm their best friend.
Ken did this to me, and my tweets weren't even bad. And the way that he started the conversation was, he
Wait a second.
DMs
For
me.
a chance to steal points from Ken, I need at some point you got to name a tweet that he made you or wanted you to delete that you don't think should have been deleted, and we'll decide.
Oh, sure, whatever.
Okay.
Well, but in this instance, it was because I appeared in a Papa John's commercial.
Yep.
And Papa John's directed me to delete these tweets. But Ken starts this conversation by just DMing me and saying, there are some tweets that you need to delete. Open-ended.
true. It's a
no
true,
context.
It's a true statement.
And I'm freaking out. I'm like, oh shit, what did I say in 2014? And the biggest one that they had a problem with was that I one time I was on a trip and our car broke down and we were staying in a hotel in Palm Springs. And this is before Uber Eats or DoorDash or anything, and the only food that was available for delivery was Domino's. So I had a Twitter interaction with the Domino's account where I was like, thank you so much for coming to save the day. And they were like, yeah, you got it, brother. And Papa John saw that and they were like, why are we putting this motherfucker in our commercial?
Yeah, he's the one that says
he loves the
pizza's here.
Domino's.
He says pizza's here, right?
Yeah.
He doesn't say which
I said
pizza.
Could have been
We don't trust him.
Domino's pizza. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who
They kind
knows?
of got you on that one. I was missing that context that they didn't trust that you
Yeah.
were a true Papa John's man.
My blood pressure raised 40 points that day, thanks to Ken Hotbid Chen.
It was a true statement. There were tweets that you need to delete. What's wrong with that?
You could have given
What are
me
you getting
some
mad at me for?
context. You're my boss too. It's one thing when it's like, you know, some
Yeah,
some
I do have to
player,
take points for not thinking about the power dynamics at play. That is, you're raising your employee's stress level for nothing.
It was true. I needed him to take it seriously. There were tweets.
It doesn't
that
matter
he
if it's
needed to
true.
delete.
Don't torture him like that. Zane, what do you think? What is your proudest moment at your time at BTS?
I mean, I was there a lot less than all of these people, but I can confidently say it was in the trailer. There's the moment where I cried in front of like 200,000 people or 20,000 people. I can't do math.
Jesus.
Hey,
Some
20,000
Newzoo
people.
stuff that you just
That's
did.
the Newzoo
That's the
numbers,
news.
baby. That's
I
right.
cried in front of 20,000
Put that
people
on a resume.
on TF at TFT Summit. And you might not be able to tell, but I'm a failed actor, so that was very important to me. No, but it's because what that was representative of is I actually think I got an opportunity that it was pretty unique in that I came to TFT Summit and Ken got to do this with bringing Summit to Smash. But I came to a community that knew jack shit about BTS and what we did and who we were and the level of quality that could be expected, right? So just wrangling the players, just advertising the event, our first time working with Riot was a fucking behemoth undertaking. The players thought that we were going to fly them out to a basement and trap them and feed them McDonald's for 4 days and film them the entire time. None of them wanted to do it. They all thought it was going to be such shit. And so the reason I was crying at the end of that, and the thing I've gotten most choked up about, like thinking afterwards, is by the end of that week, the work that BTS did, the level of quality that BTS brings to a community, that it can raise something up, had convinced all of them. And they were going around and saying thank you to me, but they were going around and saying thank you to the other staff. Every single one of them was tweeting, I can't wait for TFT Summit 2. And so to see a community that was sort of in its infancy or had some growth to do in the way Smash was when BTS came to Smash, and to see them, to help them grow through that was incredible. It was one of the most, truly the most meaningful thing I've ever done in my life, was to throw that tournament. And I made so many friends because of it, and I became so close to so many people, and it instilled a lot of lessons.
All right, you're
into
going
me
on a
into what
little
I'm
long
capable
here.
of. I'm sorry. TFT Summit, because it was cool to help a community grow and realize what they were capable of. That was fucking cool, to take it from nothing, convince them we were good.
Thanks, Zane. Rachel, what was your proudest moment at BTS?
That was too beautiful, and I don't want to give you my real answer. So I'm gonna give you my other answer, which is that I've cut down maybe like 3 trees to print out paperwork for Mango. He's the only person who never does his paperwork. I have to print it out and bring it to him every time he enters the studio and make him sign it. And over the years of working with him, it's gotten to the point where now that doesn't happen anymore. He comes up to me at like other like events, like majors, and he says hi, and then he asks me if I need him to sign anything, like even if it's like unrelated to Smash Summit. So it's great that I have, you know, cultivated this relationship with someone who really hates paperwork and doesn't check anything. And now he's actually kind of considerate to us.
You know, this is a great thing to be proud of. And then I thought in the back of my mind, he's 32. You know? But it's all right. You changed a man who's hard to change, and that's
Yep.
pretty big. Mikey, what do you think? What are you most proud of?
I think that Smash Summit 14 was a damn near perfect show. I was really proud of being able to put together a broadcast of that quality. You know, I had been around for a little bit, so I had gone through a couple of reps of figuring out things, running a Summit broadcast in a tournament that I think really came together in a pretty special way. That tournament had a really great concept. It had great side events that were well received. It was a great tournament in general. I mean, it was a mango dub, which is always, you know, always nice. And the recap video still fucking gets me.
Yeah, that's the
man.
best one.
It's
But does it
so
beat
good.
11?
It's
Yes.
so good.
It is.
I don't
It's
know.
awesome because like halfway through the tournament, I was like, you know, you had that. I think it was the sketch. This is the space one, right? Am I
Yes,
mixing
that's
it up?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
So you had this sketch where at the beginning, Tafo makes, you know, this beautiful Mikey-in speech or Cheaty-in speech. I don't know what you want your adjective to be.
Mhm.
And I messaged you and I was like, literally, Mikey, for me, just I know this might not be what sells or anything. I would just take a sketch that was just you talk about how much you like Melee through some wacky character for 3 minutes, and you were like, you're gonna be happy at the end of this tournament.
You won't, you won't like it, Jack, then that most of when Mikey and I were going back and forth on that script was me being
this
like, this is
Zanian?
just you talking about how much Melee owns. What's going on? But that's why Mikey asked me for feedback, is because he knew I would be like, this is just you being poetic. I will say really quickly, there's a skit that I wrote for that summit that we filmed that never got fully edited because of other like just pressing needs that had to happen, and it's my one big regret that it never got edited. But now that it doesn't fucking matter anymore, I am going to get the hard drive and just edit it myself. And JD, you want to do CGI footage for the moments that don't work? It's actually kind of a CG heavy thing, so I'll get JD to contribute to it. I will release that. It was a fucking banger script, I have to say.
The one with the gun, or
huh?
The one with the gun?
With the gun? No,
Yeah.
there's no gun.
There's
No,
aliens.
Maybe there should be a gun.
There's-
Maybe
there's
have the gun
aliens.
as something.
It was gonna be. It was going to be.
Fuck, it's our
It was
last
going to
chance.
be
gun.
It was going to be the J-Mook showcase
Don't
that
spoil it.
he had earned.
Don't
That's all I'll
spoil it.
say. That's all I'll say.
You already spoiled a little bit of it, telling us there's no gun.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I do have to take a point. I kind of agree. That was too much.
That's
of a
fine. That's
spoiler.
fine. That's fine.
All right. This is that was kind of my last prepared topic. I just wanted to have a little bit of space before we go to the tiebreaker. Is there anything that you wanted to talk about with this group or on this stage or in a point format before we go? Any topics that you wish I'd asked about that I didn't talk about? Let's start with Zane.
After TFT Summit, Ken Chen made me a bet on who would get higher LP in Teamfight Tactics by the end of set 8, and he has crushed me in this. He has also played maybe 11 times the games that I have, but no Johns. He peaked 450 Masters, and I'm here in like D1 still trying to scrape into Masters, being mad about low rolling. So
I peaked at 480 GM, and
okay, my bad.
more games is a positive.
I agree. You played better, you practiced more, and
games is a positive.
You got coached and you did what we said we would do and you achieved it. So I think that he beat me. But what I will say now is that I will bet that I can get Jackzilla to Masters in TFT by the end of 8.5. I will coach him to Masters.
When is that?
8.5 starts in like 2 weeks.
Will you just coach like you normally do, which is you rapidly just telling me exactly where to put my cursor and what to do?
No, I won't. What I will do is that I will instill a holistic learning approach into you, Jack, and I will get you to Masters.
This is actually I've never played ranked in TFT. I'm a big Norms player. I play on my phone all the time, every day, probably like 3 games, but that's about it. Rachel, anything that you wish we talked about that you want to talk about before we go?
I really liked our conversation earlier today, Jack, about Scrum and Agile. I wish that we had spoken more about that.
Mikey, what do you think?
Ken's got a job, and I think Zane is going back to grad school for a while. But please Well, it's not back, but focusing on grad school primarily and not going to look for a job, if I understand correctly, now for a while. But please hire Rachael. I loved working with Rachael at BTS, and she's very good at her job and very driven and very smart, and became a part of our community, and I'm really happy that happened. So please hire Rachael and fucking hire me, Fish Company.
And she knows about various methodologies of project management, which is not great on this show, but is great in your organization.
Yep.
All right. Hotbid, anything that we missed?
I thought we were going to get some content piece questions. Where are the content piece? Where's the discussion
what do you
about
want?
our favorite content piece questions?
What's your favorite content piece?
Well, you can't ask it. Now that I've asked for it, it feels almost...
That's what I asked you to do!
So look, I don't want to go first on this. We shouldn't talk about it. I brought it up now. It's okay. Let's just end the show. It's fine.
Well,
end the show, Jack.
This does bring us to our Fourside Fights tiebreaker, sponsored by Death and Mythology. As you all know, the tiebreaker, everybody can participate because I like to kind of RuPaul or Tyra Banks it, where I just decide who wins at the end, regardless of where the points were up to that point. Let's get to it. In the film adaptation of Lord of the Rings, as Minas Tirith appears to be falling to the forces of Sauron, Pippin turns to Gandalf and laments, "I didn't think it would end this way." That's pretty close to how I felt this week. Put yourself in the big old robes of Gandalf. What do you tell everyone who didn't think it would end this way? Rachael, can you start us off?
I haven't watched Lord of the Rings. This is an unfair question. Just subtract like 100 points from me.
What do you tell to everyone who didn't think it would end this way?
Jack, really quick, since we have some time, can you summarize
the cultural literacy on these questions is blowing my mind over
you really
years.
quick
You don't need to have seen Lord of the Rings. I gave you the question.
Jack, just summarize the trilogy for her real quick. Just like 20 seconds. Can you summarize it?
Okay, Lord of the Rings is about a bunch of people that need to touch grass because they're getting too doomer because a guy up in a tower made a ring. They got to blow up the ring and touch grass. That's what's up.
Can you make a Melee comparison? Like compare it to Melee so that
our
audience
Mango winning that Smash Summit from when he had to win 2 FD games.
Okay.
That's Lord of the Rings?
Yeah.
So true.
So true.
Zane is Sauron?
All right, Rachel's not participating in this one. Zane, what do you think?
At what point does like Pip and Sauron, do they win the 2 FD games? Where is that in the movie? I'm confused.
That would just be Frodo destroying the ring when against all odds. Zane, what do you think?
Okay.
I didn't think it would end this way either. And I'd be lying if my first instinct was it's not over, but it is. There'll never be anything like this again. And that's the real mourning that I've had to come to. So there'll never be anything like this. So think of what the next thing can be, because it is over.
Thank you for the reading comprehension. You know, I thought I was going to cry when I asked this question when I was writing it. I literally thought I was going to break down. Y'all just dunk on me for watching a movie. The cheat. What do you think? What do you say to people who didn't think it would end this way?
First of all, I do think that Lord of the Rings is me taking Nick Yingling, a hobbit, to Isengard, the Summit Studio.
Yes.
But what I say is, and we mentioned the Summit 14 recap video earlier, it's time to fucking reclaim your mind, Melee community. Stop letting us create our culture for you and create your own goddamn culture. You can do it. Esports and sports in general should be built from the ground up. That's how it works. That's how it makes sense. That's how Melee has always been and always will be. And it's time to start making your own roadshow.
All right, Hotbid, what do you think?
So I think sarcasm and all that kind of stuff aside, I think that every community that cares about their game, that really believes in their game, always says there's nothing like this community anywhere else, right? People in Halo say that, people in Dota say that, people in League of Legends say that. And I think in Smash, and I think especially in Melee, that is actually true. And a lot of people say that they don't understand communities, and they don't understand what makes it special. And as someone that has been a part of a lot of them, it is actually true for this game and this community. And there's something about it where you know someone just playing 5 minutes with them in a way that you wouldn't in almost any other game. Now, so what I say is nobody expected that the documentary would come out. Nobody expected that Slippy would come out. And there will be future things that are better than what you've seen. There's going to be something that makes you feel more than Smash Summit 11 finals. There's going to be something that makes you feel better than and more inspired than the Smash Summit 14 recap. That's going to happen because that's what it means to be a community that is this special, and I fully believe that. I think that's gonna happen in the future. We can still be nostalgic, remember BTS for all the memories and stuff, but I have full confidence that better things are ahead, even though it doesn't feel that way right now.
All right. Thank you for that. And that means, just looking at the score, our winner is indeed Hotbid. You are the winner of Fourside Fights. We're going to go into a little break before we come back. The Cheat, Rachael, and Zane are going to take it to Fourside and play a little melee for y'all to figure out who's best on the sticks today. Thank you for being part of the show. Stick around. It's going to take us a couple minutes to switch over.
Okay, wait. Jack still has to die.
All right. Everybody be quiet. Ken's stage.
Hello. Is incredibly difficult to watch, so I'll look at from the pixelated screen. But
yeah.
You know,
I could share my screen too in the chat.
So Jack, you're commentating with me? Is that what's happening?
Sure. If you'd like that,
Let's
it's your
do it.
stage.
Yeah, let's do
what
it.
you want to do. All right.
So you know, I gotta say, this is gonna be a win for Rachael if she does not finish last. I believe is her goal here. So we'll see if Zane's Ness. Is Zane actually a good Ness? Do you know?
Yes, I think that he's got one of those Nesses where he pulls it out and he wants you to be surprised at how good it is.
They are. Is it usually this serious? Like they are actually, you know.
It sometimes takes a while for people to reveal their intentions. Mm-hmm. So like IBDW would start off very hot and then suddenly do things that were making it clear that he thought it'd be fun to win on last stock, and then he loses the game anyways on accident.
Okay. And Woody Page, which is Mikey here, if he wins this, the Suns will win the finals.
I think it does come down to this, and Mikey has been saying that like this is a huge risk to his gameplay and to the Suns themselves.
That right there was Chris Paul getting COVID.
Mm-hmm.
What just happened?
It's not a ledge.
It's so fucked up that it's not a ledge.
I gotta mute these people 1 sec.
So the stream normally doesn't hear them.
Unless you want me to open them up. It's your call. This is your platform. You don't have to commentate. You can just say whatever you want. It's your time.
Let's interview them, okay? So
let's have them open. You can interview them while playing. That is kind of your historical forte.
Yeah. I don't like being the center of attention. Okay,
I hear you.
I like asking people stuff. So let's hear them. Mikey, will the Suns win the finals this year?
I better fucking
do you
win. I'm
believe
camping now.
Huh?
You can't. I told you that I can't answer that question because the last time I had hope, it went so poorly.
Are you a KD truther now? Do you think what he going to Golden State was totally fine?
No. I think he deserved the base god's curse for that, but I think it's great now that he's gone to a franchise that has 55 years of suffering and is going to take us to the promised land, hopefully.
Okay.
Not certainly, but...
Rachael, how hard are you trying right now?
Like, too hard, man.
You're winning.
You are winning right now.
That's because I'm playing like a little bitch.
You are winning. I mean, why did you choose Sheik as a character? Like, why did you choose?
That's the only character I know how to play.
Okay. No, I just mean
You
like
were
in
a
general.
Marth
Why did you
main.
select?
Yeah, I thought you played Samus.
I played Marth. No, I've never played Samus. I played Marth as a child. I don't know, like, actually how to play him.
Okay.
Oh
Got it.
man.
And Zane, why Ness?
The man who taught me how to play Melee would play Ness whenever he was fucking me up. And so I do it to honor him, and this character is fucking dog shit. And on this stage is especially dog shit, but I will try my best.
Oh my god, I'm dead! Boy.
Oh shit. Fuck.
What are your Slippy ranks?
Diamond 1.
Yeah.
Ranked.
Well, it's really messed up that you don't want to support Fizzy.
I don't play this game.
just
Start.
subscribe so you can
So you're
Yeah.
at least at Diamond 1 level based on like this game.
yeah,
so far.
based on
Yeah,
what's happening.
absolutely.
It's
Maybe
frozen, by the way.
Master.
I can't see what's happening. So, dude, that was an insane combo. I can't believe what we just saw. Like, that's crazy. That's the craziest thing I've ever seen.
I'm also streaming
my
it
God.
on my tab, and we'll have the video in post
Unbelievable.
if we ever need to fix it. It is 3 stocks still. Rachael at 81, Mikey at 26, Zane at 84 with his last stock on Ness.
hmm Zane is wearing a colored shirt. His background has no pets in it right now. It did before. They still
JD, you could
feel-
grab my share if possible if there's some way to do it. Ah! Okay.
I'm
off the
dead.
top, Ness is dead. from Mikey. Now it's Mikey versus Rachael. 3 stocks to 2, 40 versus 128.
Mikey, stop comboing. I don't understand.
Falco
Ken,
versus
Ken, what are you
Sheep.
seeing?
I see a black screen. So
Okay, if you go to Discord,
we're
you
gonna
can
create
click on
our
my
own
thing.
roadshow. and
We're gonna
talk
create our
about
own
it.
roadshow. That's
baby.
right. Right now, Rachel. Oh my God.
Screen
This
is still
crazy,
black.
The combo.
Still an absence of what's happening
Shit.
on the screen. This
Yeah.
this
What-
combo
what
is
do
so
you imagine is
disgusting,
happening?
We can't let the viewers see it.
What do you hope is happening? What's in the melee of your imagination?
I hope Rachel wins this. It's just hope
Yeah.
for the new generation.
It's not gonna happen. One time I
They
had
can't
to.
see it, Rachel, just lie.
Okay, sure. One
Celebrate.
time I played a top player who was playing Jigglypuff but was only using one hand, and he 4-stocked me.
Well, one time after HBox won the summit, he was drunk at the after party playing me, 4-stocking me, resting, all this kind of stuff, talking to Crunch. He's talking to Crunch the entire time, while 4-stocking me. She's like, "We did it, man. We did it." And I'm just there getting destroyed. Yeah, he didn't even see me. I don't think he turned. So
Hey, it sucks to not be seen, Ken. How did that?
I know.
You think affected you?
Hey, now I work and I can.
Oh my God.
Oh!
What did I do?
Oh shit!
Tech Nair.
What is that?
Ooh, the Sun. Congratulations to your 2023 NBA champions, the Phoenix Suns. And Finals MVP, Kevin Wayne Durant. The curse of the base god is lifted. GG's.
So Mikey,
All
you,
right.
you did that for the basketball fans, huh? The Suns.
Absolutely.
Excellent.
And now I am
did it for the
become
Valley.
Melee, destroyer of finances, something like that. That has been our show. Hotbid, the winner of Fourside Fights. The Cheat, the winner of the Fourside Fight on Fourside. This has been Fourside Funerals. I've mixed up the names a couple times. Thank you all for joining us. VODs will be live pretty soon, and we hope you had a good time. Bye, everybody.